I think you're going to see a lot of lobbying for more precise legal clarity and regulatory clarity. And you're going to see a lot of building, both by new digital assets companies, as well as you're going to see all the traditional accounting and traditional finance operators. They're going to upgrade their systems in order to support this new Bitcoin-backed economy. And it's going to take a lot of money and a lot of accountants, a lot of lawyers, and a lot of thinking and some time. But because of that action, I think we'll get to a much better place.
Today, we will explore two primary reasons why Bitcoin is revolutionizing the way businesses operate. Michael will delve into the unparalleled benefits of Bitcoin as the world's premier digital settlement network, offering unprecedented speed and cost efficiency through technologies like the Lightning Network. We will examine Bitcoin's role as a superior investment asset, providing a compelling solution for companies striving to beat the high cost of capital in an increasingly volatile financial landscape. Before we get on with the video, we'd like to introduce our sponsor, Stamp Seed. Don't forget to follow the link in our description below for 15% off your stamping kit. Furthermore, 77% of our viewers on this channel are not yet subscribed. If you are enjoying this content and want to support our efforts, please hit that subscribe button and help our videos find more people. Without further ado, here is Michael Saylor on the Coin Stories podcast.
There are two primary reasons. There's a P&L reason. Bitcoin represents the world's first, greatest digital settlement network, digital monetary network, digital trust network. And we're going to have one session I'll have with David Marcus, and he'll be speaking about wiring dozens of companies into the Lightning Network for speedy, extremely cheap settlements. So if you're a company and you want to be able to move money at the speed of light, or if you want to implement the next generation of internet applications by using the Internet of Money, then you're going to be interested in this. It's like we're in the first year of corporate adoption of the Internet of Money. And just like in 1994, that was the first year of adoption of the Internet. You would want to do it if you want to stay on the leading edge of digital transformation. The second reason the company want to do it is because the entire world is attempting to beat the cost of capital, and the cost of capital is about 12%. And the capital asset that most of them use is bonds. And bonds very rarely yield more than 3%. So all of their treasury portfolios are invested in something which is generating a minus 9%, a negative real yield. And Bitcoin generates a positive real yield. In the last 4 years, it's been 40 to 50%. So it's 4 times the cost of capital, but 2 times the cost of capital would be magical. And even equal to the cost of capital, if you could simply invest your capital at 12% and meet 12%, then your capital wouldn't be dilutive to your shareholders. So Bitcoin represents an opportunity on the P&L for technology leadership. And it represents an opportunity on the balance sheet to attract capital, preserve capital, and create shareholder value. I think that January of 2024 was the beginning of the period of corporate adoption of Bitcoin. And, that first big catalyst was the SEC's approval of spot ETFs for Bitcoin. The second big catalyst is going to be the SEC's denial of every other crypto application for a spot ETF. And the entire world was thinking, will the regulators ban Bitcoin? And we answered the question, no, it won't be banned. And then the next objection is, but will it be copied? And when we actually see the regulators deny the applications of the copies of other crypto assets, then we will have checked the box. It won't be banned, it won't be copied. And generally, when people are if you're if you're deciding whether to build a 100-story skyscraper and invest hundreds of millions of dollars on it, and someone says, well, you either need to use steel or you need to use bronze. And you say, well, which one is the right one? And the answer is unclear. Well, it might be that the bronze is the right one and steel collapses, or it might be steel is the right one and bronze collapses. That paralyzes a big corporate project. But when you get past that and you realize, well, there's just steel and there is no second best metal for structural civil engineering, once you get to that point, the project moves forward because it's pretty obvious to the corporation they want the 100-story building. They just don't want to be paralyzed by the indecision and the fear of making the wrong choice.
Today's video is sponsored by Stamp Seed. Don't store your Bitcoin in cold storage without stamping your seed phrase on an indestructible titanium plate. Stamp Seed is fireproof, rust-proof, impact-proof, and easy to hide. It has no loose parts and will give you ultimate peace of mind that your Bitcoin is safe and sound for the long term. Click the link in the description below for 15% off your stamping kit. Welcome to Bit Intelligence. We are committed to bringing you top-notch Bitcoin-only content. Subscribe to our channel and hit that bell icon. Okay, back to the video.
So I think that the critical catalyst will be not just the institutional or the regulatory acceptance of Bitcoin as an institutional asset, but it'll also be the regulatory rejection of the alternatives. If we go back to LightSpark's activities again, they've got dozens and dozens of corporate customers that are regulated compliant entities that want to integrate Lightning in order to provide instant, cheap, final settlement. Each of those companies is operating in a different jurisdiction, perhaps with a different set of regulators, and they may have a different mission, right? The mission of a crypto exchange or a large-scale bank would be different than a simple money transmitter, and that might be different than an e-commerce company. So the reason we need corporations to be involved is corporations can afford to hire the array of lawyers, the array of financiers. They can put in place very expensive accounting systems, and those systems, will then have normally built into them all the various compliance rules, perhaps state by state, perhaps nation by nation. The rules for doing banking and money transfer in the UK will be different than France, will be different than California. So I think what you're going to see over the coming 4 years is progressive adoption of Bitcoin by a bunch of banks, a bunch of various regulated entities operating in every major jurisdiction. The rules regarding transfer are going to evolve. In some cases, they're clear. In some cases, they're hazy. In some cases, they're being contested. In some cases, they're very unclear and uncertain. I don't think that in 4 years, every question will be answered, but I do think 4 years from now, you'll have a lot more clarity than you have right now. And that clarity, to a certain degree, will come because of the entrance of the large entities in the space. For example, the success of the Fidelity and the BlackRock ETFs will accelerate clarity with regard to can NASDAQ and or other stock exchanges trade option under what when can they trade options? There's already interesting movement afoot for the New York Stock Exchange to start trading 24/7. And that's been created by the crypto enthusiasm. So I think you're going to see an evolution of traditional finance organizations. I think that the question of what happens with tokenization is going to be a political one. We're going to need to see a digital assets framework that's adopted, and what the EU does and what the US does and what jurisdictions like Brazil or Singapore do will determine how fast that industry grows and what direction it grows. And I think it's too soon to give an answer on that.
As we conclude this enlightening session, it's clear that Bitcoin's potential extends far beyond a mere digital currency. Michael Saylor has illuminated how Bitcoin stands as a cornerstone for digital transformation, offering speed, efficiency, and a robust investment opportunity that can significantly enhance corporate financial strategies. With the ongoing regulatory developments and increasing corporate adoption, Bitcoin is poised to become an integral part of the global financial infrastructure. Stay tuned for more enlightening discussions, and remember to subscribe for the latest recaps, insights, and films about all things Bitcoin. If you want to watch another one of our podcast recaps, try this one here. We'll see you next time.